Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is February 22nd, 2025, and there's a new update in the Negreira case. Also, the Luis Diaz option is becoming more real with each passing day. And finally, the real price of Pedri has been revealed. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and we'll begin with the news that today Barcelona defeated Las Palmas 0-2 in what was not the best performance. It was actually not a good performance by Barcelona, but nonetheless this was a very important victory by the team because we needed these 3 points in order to stay at the top of La Liga table. And of course tomorrow Real Madrid will be playing their respective match against Girona, but whatever happens tomorrow, it doesn't matter because since Barcelona took home 3 points, we will remain at the top of La Liga table. Now, I did do the post-match live analysis where I analyzed Barcelona's match against Las Palmas. So if you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Now, in the post-match press conference, Hansi Flick expressed that he was not happy with Barcelona's performance. And he did that when he was asked about how he looked worried during right before the halftime, and this is what the German coach had to say. But we showed some situations from the first half to the players so that they could see what we could do better. I'm not entirely happy with the game, but I'm happy with the 3 points. Now, he was also asked how, last time against Rayo Vallecano, the team barely scraped by 1-0, and the German coach said, but it's 6 points in the last 2 games, and that's good. It's normal that we're tired, but we're happy because we're still leading, and that's a good situation. We know that we can improve and that we have to keep improving. So Hansi Flick, despite winning the match, despite taking home 3 points, despite staying at the top of La Liga table, he's still remaining self-critical and saying, hey, I'm happy about the win, but I'm not happy with the team's performance. We still need to improve, and that's very, very important in a coach because the only way to improve is to first be able to recognize that you need to improve and then figure out a way on how to do it. So very happy with Hansi Flick's self-criticism, constant self-criticism, where if he sees place for improvement, he highlights it and he tries to be the best he could be as far as coach and, of course, as far as the team. Now, on to the next bit of news. Oh, actually, before I forget, Lamine Yamal today, after the match, posted the following picture on his Instagram. Look at that bloody foot. Lamine Yamal was beat up a lot today. The referee let it happen once again. It happened last time against Las Palmas during the first half of the season where there were 2 clear fouls from the back that should have merited red cards, each one. And today was no different. And look at this picture. Lamine Yamal posted this picture on his Instagram account with the caption, "Not a foul." So I hope Lamine Yamal is okay. Hopefully it's just a cut that can, heal on its own. Because remember, we do have a match against Atletico Madrid only in, 2 days, 3 days, on Tuesday, which will be the first leg of the semifinal of the Copa del Rey. Now we can move on to the next bit of news. I had almost forgotten to mention Lamine Yamal's foot. But let's move on to the next bit of news because there is an update in the case of Negreira. As you know, Barcelona have been investigated for the last 2 years in the case of Negreira, who was a retired referee. That his company was receiving a consulting fee from Barcelona while he was one of the many vice presidents of the CTA, or the Committee of Referees. This, of course, launched an investigation to see whether Barcelona was bribing referees through the hiring of the company that was owned by Negreira. 2 years into the case, there's absolutely no evidence of any kind of wrongdoing. And now we have a new update because a new judge has been assigned, and her name is Alejandra Gil Yima. Now, the previous judge was Joaquin Aguirre. We talked about him a lot in previous videos. He's the judge who decided to slap the bribery charges on Barcelona when he realized that there was no evidence of sports corruption. Of course, those charges fell apart because you cannot charge bribery unless you bribed a public official. Negreira was not only not bribed, but he wasn't a public official either. He was a member of the CTA, which is a private entity. He's also the judge that came up with his own theories and hypotheses about how Barcelona bribed the referees. He's like, okay, well, we can't prove that there was cash payments. It was probably through the promotion and demotion of refs. We found out that Negreira had no power over that. You know, he's the judge who kept the case going for 2 years despite there being no evidence of any wrongdoing. He decided to retire, and now Judge Alejandra Gil has taken his place. All right, on to the next bit of news. And this news is actually pretty happy, pretty positive, because check this picture out of the Spotify Camp Nou. This comes from the Instagram account Camp Nou Now, which is a guy who lives right across the stadium in one of the apartment buildings, and he can look right into the stadium. He always posts updates. It's pretty cool account. If you want to follow him, I recommend you do if you want to stay up to date on the Camp Nou. But this is the latest picture he updated. They're testing the LED lights in the stadium, and I have to see it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. Again, I cannot wait for our stadium to be done, because it's gonna be one hell of a stadium. Now, of course, the construction company Lamine have promised that the stadium will reopen by end of April. I have my doubts. It's probably not going to reopen until next season. Of course, it was supposed to reopen in November. Then they pushed it to December, then February. Now they're saying end of April. My guess is not going to be until next season. But despite all these delays, Lamine continues to insist that the stadium will be ready by its original deadline, which is summer of June 2026, which is when the stadium will be fully done. Of course, when it reopens, it's going to be 60% capacity. When it's fully done, it'll be at 100% capacity, and it'll look like, at least we hope that it will look like the renders that we've all seen, which if it does, it's going to be one of the most beautiful stadiums in the world. All right, on to the next bit of news, because the option, La Luis Diaz option, is becoming more real every single day. Now, as I reported before, Deco has made Luis Diaz a priority signing during the summer, since Barcelona will be looking to reinforce the left wing. Luis Diaz is having problem with his contract renewal, where Liverpool have informed the player and his entourage that he's pretty much not a priority. They're looking to prioritize other contract renewals like Mo Salah, like Van Dijk. And given that Luis Diaz is not a priority for Liverpool, given his contract expires in 2027, and with Barcelona achieving the one-to-one rule, they think that this summer the signing of Luis Diaz will be very much a reality. And now new news have come out of England that can make this option even more real, and that's that Liverpool will be looking to offload players during this summer because they need a cash influx in order to sign a top striker, with Alexander Isak being one of the players they are considering. So since Luis Diaz is not a priority for them, and since they need to offload players, that opens the door for Barcelona to try to swoop in and take Luis Diaz or sign Luis Diaz. Now, honestly speaking, I think Luis Diaz is an amazing player. I think he will be a great addition to the team. But I do have a problem with this signing, and that's his age. Now, I'm not saying that he's old or anything like that. He's only 28 years old. That means he's in his prime. That means if he comes, he could give us the best football that he has to offer. And again, he's 28. He can give us great football for another 4, maybe even 5 years. But the problem is that we have Rafinha, who's the same exact age. And it doesn't make sense to have two players for the same position who are the same age, because eventually when they do get old, you're going to find yourself with both your wingers being old, and you're going to have to find yourself trying to replace two wingers because both of them are the same age and both of them got old at the same time. So that to me doesn't make sense. I think our money would be better spent on a player who's young, who's promising, that can come to the club, start developing, and it's okay. He can take his time because we have Rafinha, who's the starter. And then when Rafinha gets old, we get the young player to take his place, right? That's what you want to do. You want to have kind of like a conveyor belt. We have a player in his prime, right behind him a young player. So when a player in his prime gets old, the young player gets his place, and then you have another young player behind that one. And just like that, that's the way you ensure that your team stays competitive. You know, that's what a good sporting director does. A good sporting director doesn't only sign players for now, but you have to think about the midterm and even the long-term future of the team, and sign players so the team remains competitive for many, many years, not just sign everybody in their prime right now. Right now we do great, and then in 3-4 years, the whole team ages, falls apart, and we have to restart all over, which is what happened under Bartomeu. But anyways, I do want to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions about Luis Diaz, so let me know down below in the comment section, and we will end this video with the news that Pedri's real price has been revealed. Before the match against Las Palmas, their president spoke out about Pedri, and this is what he had to say. I think we are talking about an amount between 23 to 24 million euros, in that range. We reached a good agreement with a boy who had never played in professional football. FC Barcelona took a gamble. Barcelona has always helped us in that agreement. They have fulfilled faithfully, and I think we are all satisfied. We made a good sale, Barca made a good purchase, and the boy is at one of the best clubs in the world. Therefore, everyone is happy. Now, Las Palmas president also revealed that Las Palmas do have a percentage of any future sales. So if Pedri gets sold, they can make more money. And he said if he doesn't, then Barcelona could continue to enjoy him, just like they enjoy watching him as well. So Las Palmas president revealing that Pedri cost 23 to 24 million euros between fixed, variables, bonus, etc., which, if you ask me, it's an absolute steal. Can you imagine paying 23 to 24 million euros for one of the best midfielders in the world? If we were to go sign Pedri today, I have no doubts that he would cost something upwards of 120 million euros. So an absolute steal. And that concludes the news for this video. Again, I did the post-match live analysis. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, Visca Barça.